Sammy in the Sky by Barbara Walsh. Paintings by Jamie Wyeth. His name was Sam, but I called him Sammy. He had black and tan fur, large brown eyes, and a snout that could sniff 3-day-old smells. My dad said Sammy was the best hound dog in the whole world. All I knew was that I loved Sammy, and Sammy loved me. Sammy was always at my side. He played house and doctor with me and never seemed to mind when I pulled a floppy pink bonnet over his ears or stuck bandages on his nose and paws. At night, Sammy kept me safe. He curled up on the floor by my bed, protecting me from bad dreams and the scary branches that scratched against my dark window. If I woke up frightened, Sammy was there, his brown eyes watching over me. Sammy always knew when I was sad. He'd nuzzle his nose in my lap and hand me his paw. Stroking his soft fur, I'd whisper, "I love you, Sammy." Sometimes Sammy made me laugh. When his belly was full, he would lie on his back, throw his legs in the air, and dance. If my little sister and I blew bubbles, Sammy chased them, barking as he popped the tiny bubbles with his paws. I figured Sammy and I would be friends forever. But the summer Sammy turned 12, Daddy found a bump on Sammy's neck, and it was as big as a baseball. The veterinarian told us Sammy was really sick, and there wasn't a medicine that could help. When we got home from the doctor's, Daddy hugged Sammy. "You've still got plenty of fight, don't you, old hound dog?" "We've got to love Sammy as much as we can," Dad said, "because he's not going to be with us much longer." My father turned away so I wouldn't see the tears in his eyes. I wrapped my arms around Sammy and held him tight. We took Sammy to his favorite field at the beach, where he chased seagulls and other dogs. He still ran, but not as fast and not as long as he used to. Worn out, he collapsed on the sand. "It's okay, Sammy," I told him. "I'll take a rest with you. You're still the best hound dog in the whole wide world." Sammy wagged his tail and licked my face. Soon Sammy began limping and falling down when he tried to stand. One morning he couldn't get up off the kitchen floor. Mom pulled me onto her lap. "Sammy's going to die soon," she explained. "When he leaves, his body will be like an empty shell, but his spirit will be everywhere, in the clouds, the fields, and the woods. All the good things about Sammy, like his love for you, will be yours to keep forever." "I don't want Sammy to die," I cried. Then one night, Mommy and I came home and found Daddy holding Sammy. Sammy gasped and wheezed like he'd been chasing a squirrel for hours. Daddy wrapped Sammy in a blanket and we knelt by his side. I petted Sammy's head and kissed his warm nose. "You're the best hound dog in the whole wide world," I whispered. Sammy's breathing grew slower and slower until it stopped. "He's gone," Daddy said, his voice soft and strange. Mommy held me close as Daddy carried Sammy to the backwoods to bury him. "Goodbye, Sammy," I cried. The next morning, Daddy and I went for a long walk on the beach. I searched for Sammy in the sky. I searched and searched for a cloud that looked like Sammy. I looked for his face, his paws, and his big brown eyes. "Can't Sammy come back?" I asked Daddy. "Just for a little while." Daddy shook his head. "You'll have to remember him in your heart," he said. That night, I dreamed of Sammy. I fell. I felt his whiskers tickle my cheek, his cold nose nuzzle my hand. When the dawn light filled my room, I reached out to hug Sammy, but then I remembered he was gone. My little sister didn't understand why Sammy went away. She shouted up at the sky, "Sammy, you come down here." "Maybe," she said, "if we get a really big ladder, Daddy can go get Sammy." I knew there weren't any ladders that big. As the summer days grew shorter, my chest stopped hurting when I thought of Sammy. My mother said it was time for a special celebration. We took bottles of bubbles to Sammy's favorite field. We walked on the path where Sammy once ran, wagging his tail and sniffling scents. We told stories about the best hound dog in the whole world. Then we blew bubbles into the wind. They floated higher and higher toward a cloud that looked like a dog running in the sky. I could see its paws, floppy ears, and tail. "It's Sammy!" I yelled. "He's chasing the bubbles. Sammy's with us." "He'll always be with us," my mother said. I stared up at the sky and shouted, "I love you, Sammy. You're still the best hound dog in the whole wide world."